Today on the channel, let's take a look at some late presidential poll data. Let's take a look at Senator Rand Paul's Festivus report. Who gets to determine what is and is not hateful speech? And as promised, today on the Trailer Trash Tim channel, I got a big surprise for y'all. Stay tuned. For the best meat you have ever eaten in your life, go to samsbutchershop.com. Enter the coupon code Triple T when you check out for a 10% discount. Hello, everybody. This is Trailer Trash Tim. Welcome to the channel, and here's the big surprise.
Hi, everybody.
This is Mrs. Trailer Trash Tim, otherwise known as Marina. Let me know if you can hear us all down in the comments below. I think it'll probably work out all right. Make sure, darling, that you're looking into the right place there, okay?
Yes.
So everybody will see that we're not actually cross-eyed or anything.
Okay.
But this is my wife, Marina, and she's been heckling me from the peanut gallery for a long time, and I finally prodded and convinced her to come on this side of the camera. So everybody down in the comments below, say welcome to Marina. She's going to be giving color commentary, and she's going to be poking me when she thinks I'm wrong about something. This will liven up the joint, I think, don't you?
Yeah, I'm going to sit here and be quiet, elbow you every now and again.
There we go. That'll work fine.
Okay.
You can say anything you want. Just keep your mouth shut. Only kidding. Only kidding. All right, let's start with this. I want to start with some polls. This is from a site called the Qantas Polls and News. This was posted on Twitter or X by Robert Barnes. I don't know how many of you are familiar with Robert Barnes. He's a lawyer, a really good lawyer, and he is associated with Viva Fry. You might have heard of Barnes and Fry.
Yeah, I like Viva.
Yeah, he's a pretty sharp guy, and he released some information he had on some polls that deal specifically with the so-called swing states with regard to the upcoming presidential election, and the polls have good news for the legitimate president. That would be President Trump, of course. Now, a disclaimer. Of course, we're talking about polls, and I know polls are unreliable. You can't always believe what you hear as far as polls go.
True.
I get that, but it's at least fun to talk about, right? But according to Qantas, in these swing states, President Trump is leading by some fairly significant margins. For example, in the state of Arizona at the current time, this is the new year. Oh, not new year, December 26th, almost the new year. He's up in Arizona 6.8%. In Georgia, he's up 6%. In Michigan, listen to this one got me, he is up 6.9%. In Nevada, 4.6% he's up. In North Carolina, he is up 7.9%, almost 8%. In Pennsylvania, he's up 1.5%. And in Wisconsin, he's up 0.7%.
I think those numbers are higher.
Well, I think they may well be as well. But a cumulative total would be Trump being up in these states 4.9%. I'm thinking, these are, of course, battleground states. Now, this is just me talking. I don't see any way that Trump loses Georgia, seeing as how...
Unless they cheat again.
Well, that's the thing. Of course, I don't think he lost Georgia in 20, but of course he didn't. He was not awarded the state. Georgia was just a political cesspool that year. Kemp won re-election over Big Mama Stacey Abrams, but they gave the state to Trump. But this one, North Carolina, 7.9%. My take on it is, if Trump wins these states, if he wins Arizona, Georgia, North Carolina, Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin, I'm thinking it's all over.
I would hope so.
I figure he's got Florida in hand. He's got, I would think, Ohio in hand. There's some states, of course, he's not going to win. California, New York, a lot of the New England states. But if he wins these states, I think he's got it in the bag. This, of course, discounts the factor of fraud, as Marina stated. And there's nothing we can do about that except overwhelm the polls and just pray that we don't have any more shenanigans. Although we will, we just have to we have to
catch 'em in the act.
we have to outvote the shenanigans. You were talking about something that you heard Catherine Herridge say about a black swan event. Can you enlighten us to what you know about that?
Well, not really. I mean, she doesn't know what might happen.
Well, what does
but
she mean by black swan event?
A black swan event is something that happens that nobody foresees happening.
What's an example of it? Do you know?
Well, like 9/11, that was a black swan. Nobody foresaw that happening.
Right.
But she thinks something awful is going to happen prior to the election.
In other words, some event that would cause people to coalesce behind the incumbent or cause the incumbent to say, well, I can't leave office. We're in the middle of a whatever.
He can call off the election or, pull a Zelensky.
Don't think they wouldn't do that, folks.
Yeah, they do.
We got to realize who we're dealing with here and what we're dealing with here. All right, let me move on. I want to get to Rand Paul's annual Festivus report. Everybody know what Festivus is? Happy Festivus. Festivus originated on the great sitcom Seinfeld. It was originated by George's father, Frank Costanza. And Frank Costanza didn't celebrate Christmas. He celebrated Festivus. Happy Festivus, everybody. It's a Festivus for the rest of us. And the features of the part of the features of the Festivus were the airing of grievances. I got a lot of problems with you people, and now you're going to hear about it. And the feats of strength and things like that. So this is Rand Paul's Festivus report. It highlights the government's fiscal. Did I just invent a word?
You did.
Fiscable. It's fiscable.
Oh, my God.
It highlights the government's fiscal irresponsibility and waste. And Rand reports that this year he is highlighting over $900 trillion of waste.
I thought it was $900 billion.
I'm sorry. No. You're right. $900 billion. Billion here, trillion there. $900 billion.
At this point, what difference does it make?
I know, Hillary, right? Now, this appeared in the Washington Examiner, and he said, this year I am highlighting a whopping $900 billion of waste, including an NIH grant to study Russian cats walking on a treadmill, Barbies used as proof of ID for receiving COVID Paycheck Protection Program funds, $6 million to promote tourism in Egypt,
well, sure,
and $200 million to struggling artists like Post Malone, Chris Brown, and Lil Wayne.
You mean Hunter Biden didn't?
No, not yet. Lil Wayne is hurting for cash? I didn't know that.
I didn't know.
No matter how much money the government has already wasted, politicians keep demanding even more. Now listen at this. First and foremost had to be the impact Barbie had on government waste. Did you ever have a Barbie doll?
Maybe about 50 years ago.
Yeah, well, so did I. No, I didn't. Had a G.I. Joe, right?
Right.
It had nothing to do with the much ballyhooed movie released over the summer. The Festivus report revealed that many schemers who defrauded the government to get COVID relief money from the Paycheck Protection Program used images of Barbie dolls as part of the verification process.
Okay.
The AI system the government used to verify identities before dispersing the funds was not able to recognize this, and as a result scammed the government out of millions of dollars set aside for relief efforts. So what was supposed to be an AI system to verify proof of identity quickly exposed the stupidity of the program. The verification system did not catch the images of dolls uploaded by fraudsters. Somehow, the Small Business Administration carelessly approved the applicants from Toyland and sent out improper COVID-19 PPP payments. And it goes on and on about that. Now, how about this one? There's a lot here, but I'm not going to read them all, of course. The Festivus report revealed a lot of monkey business, literally. That's not an idiom for anything. The report specifically detailed millions of dollars the U.S. government spent on programs dealing with monkeys. Paul highlighted the $33 million contract signed by the National Institutes of Health and a South Carolina business to house, feed, and care for monkeys on Monkey Island.
Okay.
We should go on vacation there. Where are we going on vacation? Monkey Island.
Same as Congress.
Yeah, exactly. It's an acronym for, or another word for Washington, D.C.
Yeah.
Let's see. Another government project involves spending a portion of approximately $12 million for NIH grants was spent on a research lab at the University of Mississippi, Ole Miss, Medical Center that gave monkeys meth in the morning and tracked the monkeys' sleeping habits through implanted wire leads. This is your taxpayer money, folks. Another government project.
Wait. So we get monkeys hooked on meth.
Meth-addicted monkeys, right.
Right, just so we can see how they sleep.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Where do you send them when you're done? To the Betty Ford Monkey Center? I mean...
I don't know. Although that's a good one, yeah.
Another government project involves spending portions of 2 grants worth $3.7 million to study monkeys to research the section of the brain that impacts risk-taking choices. It was a gruesome procedure that involved removing a section of the lab monkeys' skulls and injecting their brains with tracers to monitor brain activity as the primates chose between scenarios that involved deciding between a low-risk, low-reward choice and a high-risk, high-reward option. Your tax dollars at work, boys and girls. Even musicians could wet their beaks and get millions of dollars in relief funds meant for the country's small businesses. Get this. The Small Business Administration was supposed to provide financial relief to concert venues that had to close during the pandemic. The Shuttered Venue Operators Grant Program was meant to help such places. However, it seems to have been exploited by famous musicians and their touring companies who claim to be small business owners to receive funds to the tune, pun intended, of over $200 million. This includes Post Malone, Chris Brown, Lil Wayne, Usher, Melissa Etheridge, Common, and Steve Apke, among others. These multi-millionaire musicians were cashing checks instead of the intended recipients, America's small businesses, read the Festivus report.
Well, and I'm thinking if you have a concert venue and that's just what you do, it's not important to anybody's life that you have this business.
Not that vital.
No. Life goes on.
Right.
Whether you're there or not.
Do you just not see the inherent unfairness in all of this? I mean, if you're going to be doling out taxpayer money, who the hell gets to decide who gets it? Right?
I wish they'd put me in charge of that.
Well, who do you think needs the cash more, me and you or Lil Wayne?
Yeah, me and you.
You think?
Definitely me and you.
Maybe we need to start rapping.
Oh, that would be super.
Rapping.
Yeah. No. I don't think I want to do that.
Trailer Trash Tim rapping.
No.
There's a thought. Let me think about that. I could use $200 million.
Y'all tell him no. But
I could do a lot of damage with $200 million.
I'm sure you could.
Boy, could I. All right, let me move on to my last story here. This one is... How many of you know Laura Loomer? Laura Loomer is... I'm a big fan of Laura Loomer about 90% of the time. She is very active on Twitter, X. You're a big fan of Laura Loomer.
Yeah.
What's a bit of her bio? I know she ran for Congress.
She initially was working with Project Veritas when James O'Keefe was there. Mm-hmm. And then she became an independent journalist.
Right, which she still is.
Right. Well, she was famous for handcuffing herself to, was it the Twitter building?
I think so.
Yeah, and so yeah, she's just really vocal and outgoing.
Right. So she does a lot of investigative journalism. She's very active, and
Yeah.
she's uncovered a lot of things. Actually, she's worth following if you're on Twitter, or I think she's also on Getter. Marina's not on Twitter. I am. I'm not on
I
Getter.
gave it up.
She is. She's on Getter. You can find her. What's your call sign on Getter?
Oh, don't ask me hard questions. I'll have to figure that out.
Because you like
later.
change it every other day?
Yeah, something
well, you
like
can
that.
find me on Twitter, as you know. It's down below. Maybe we can put her Getter link down below. I don't know. Anyway, let's move on to what she has uncovered. Laura Loomer wrote this yesterday, Christmas Day, on Twitter. How many of you have cell phones? Everybody, right?
Yeah.
Who is your carrier? I guess the big three are AT&T, Verizon, and T-Mobile, and there are other more minor players, I suppose. We are, unfortunately, with the company that is in question with regard to this story, and that would be T-Mobile, but I don't know if that's going to be the case much longer. Listen at this. Laura Loomer writes, T-Mobile has quietly updated their terms of service to include fines for content they don't agree with. Get this, folks. Beginning on January the 1st, in a week, they will be fining users who commit perceived violations on their bandwidth. Who knew, Laura writes, that in America, that the phone providers would now be policing the content of your text messages to fine you. Now, she posted the terms of service on her feed. She copy and pasted it from T-Mobile, and it's there. It's legitimate what she's saying. You can find it. I suppose if you did some digging on the T-Mobile website, you'd be able to find this terms of service. But this is unbelievable. They're basically saying if you send a text or use our bandwidth to communicate something we don't agree with, we're going to levy a fine for you. Laura continues to write this. SHAFT, SHAFT,
which is what we're getting.
Yeah, is an acronym that stands for sex, hate, alcohol, firearms, and tobacco. It outlines the categories of text messages specifically regulated due to moral and legal issues and is monitored by the Cellular Telephone Industries Association, the CTIA, and the mobile carriers. So the question Laura asked is this: who gets to determine what is and is not hateful? That be the question.
Wouldn't it? Yes.
So if I send you a text, just some generic text about, let's say, the election and how I think, hey, look, Donald Trump's getting screwed by so-and-so.
They could fine you for that.
And T-Mobile doesn't agree with what I texted Marina, they could levy a fine?
Yeah.
Am I reading that correctly?
That's the way I took it.
So the question, she says, is who gets to determine this? Who's the umpire here? Who gets to determine if you sent a hateful text that they don't agree with? Free speech, anybody? New carrier, anybody?
I'm in trouble. I'm going to have to, we're going to get a new carrier.
Now, I mentioned the CTIA. That's the acronym for the Cellular Telephone Industries Association. What is this?
Well, has T-Mobile gotten in trouble in the past, and have they had to pay out money in the past because their customers are sending hateful texts?
I don't know.
Well, then, what brought this on? Why do this other than to censor?
I'm not privy to that information at this time. Okay. All I know is you better watch what you say and watch what you text, at least as long as you're using T-Mobile, apparently, which we currently are.
Yeah, we're going to have to change.
Wow. Can you believe it? Hey, if you send me a text, just make sure it's like a recipe for strawberry shortcake or something.
Puppies and kitties.
Puppies and kitties. There you go. Where is your kitty?
She's outside.
Outside, of course. Now, maybe we can get Kiki on camera now that Marina's here. She'll come to Marina, but she won't come to me. She's probably looking through the door going, what's going on in there?
Yeah.
All right, now the CTIA, once again, this is the Cellular Telephone and Industries Association. Evidently, this is going to be the outfit who gets to determine what is and is not hate speech. Now, of course, to a Democrat, for example, hate speech is something that somebody says that they don't agree with. That's hate speech, right? If I say to a Democrat, hey, I'm voting for Donald Trump or even Vivek, well, that's got to be hate speech.
That's hate speech.
If you don't agree with them, it's hate speech. The president of the CTIA is a woman by the name of Meredith Atwell Baker. Who is Meredith Atwell Baker, you ask? Meredith Atwell Baker was appointed as an FCC commissioner by Barack Hussein Obama in 2009. Okay. Prior to that, she was appointed by George W. Bush, no difference, plug and play, as the acting Assistant Secretary of Commerce for Communications and Information. So, we do a little digging here, and we find out that the president of the CTIA, once again, the Cellular Telephone Industries Association, I didn't know there was such a thing,
no,
is basically an Obama-Bush hack, Meredith Atwell Baker. So I guess before you text anybody anything, if you're using T-Mobile, you better check with Ms. Baker, Meredith Atwell Baker, to make sure you're not texting hate speech. Don't be hateful. So there you have it. So look, if you're with T-Mobile, you might want to look into this. Go to their website and look at see if you can find their TOS, their terms of service, because what I'm telling you is for real.
I'm thinking we all should leave en masse, just like we did Disney.
Exactly. Exactly.
Bud Light these people.
We face this problem with social media, such as Facebook. I mean, this is kind of why Elon Musk bought Twitter. God bless him for doing so. By the way, Alex Jones is back on Twitter, if you didn't know that already. But this is why I never post on Facebook anymore. It's gotten to where they're just Nazis. I mean, you can't say anything anymore. They'll tell you, oh, you can't say that, and we blocked your post, or we suspended your account, or we removed your post, or we're going to remove you, or whatever.
They won't even let you see what it was they removed.
To the point that you finally just say, to heck with it, I'll just go somewhere else, which I did. And now I just post on Twitter, and I haven't had any problem thus far, knock on wood. So we'll see what happens. But this is ominous if you're a customer of T-Mobile, and I would just assume that if it's happening with T-Mobile, it's probably just a matter of time before it happens with Verizon and AT&T.
Oh, yeah.
I assume. There are cell phone alternatives out there.
Yeah, like Patriot Mobile. I'm going to check into them.
I've heard of another one called Pure Talk. I don't know anything about it.
I don't know.
There's another one I know. I used to have Straight Talk. That was with Walmart. But the bottom line is, we live in a day and age, folks, where if you have any sense left, if you're one of the sane ones left, if you're not part of the woke crowd, you're going to have to start looking at alternative ways of living your life, from where you buy your pillows.
Yeah.
I told you the other day, Marina bought our Christmas present a couple of weeks ago from Mike Lindell. God bless that man.
Yeah.
Mike Lindell, the My Pillow man. We have My Pillows already, but she bought the, what do you call it?
Comforter, goose
My
down
Pillow.
comforter.
It's a goose down comforter.
Yeah. He really likes it.
It's really, really nice. You'll stay toasty warm. We probably won't be using it in the summertime, but I think we're going to order about 9 more of those things. They're fantastic.
You only need the one.
He really puts out some great products.
Yeah, he does.
I'm wearing My Pillow slippers right now, and we have the My Pillow pillows. God bless Mike Lindell. That man has been just absolutely persecuted.
Yes.
Maybe he'll get in the.
He's a true patriot.
He really is. Maybe he'll get in the cell phone business. Who knows? But anyway,
that would be good.
Yeah, we're going to have to get to work, and because if T-Mobile's going to start fining us for, good Lord, if they're actually going to fine us for what we say over their bandwidth, if they're actually going to fine us for what we text, we're going to be bankrupt in a week and a half.
You will be anyway.
I text a lot.
Yeah.
But I can't text a lot, apparently, if we're still with T-Mobile, unless we want to pay a whole lot of fines. How ridiculous is this? What a day we live in.
Just keep your mouth shut until I get us changed over.
All right.
I'm just saying.
Oh, and your fingers in your pockets.
Yeah, keep your fingers in your pockets.
Hey, look, we hope everybody had a great Christmas. It was really rainy here all day, really dreadful. I don't think we had snow much anywhere in the nation. I don't know. Maybe up north. I don't know. Thanks so much for joining us, everybody. Comment down below. Let me know what Santa Claus brought you for Christmas yesterday.
Oh yeah,
that would be fun to know. Make sure you like this video down below. Hit that old thumbs up button. We would appreciate that, and subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already. This is Trailer Trash Tim and
Marina.
Everybody, go out there, have a great day, and we will see you soon. Hit it.
Bye bye.